We did fund one facade improvement, $5,000. We spent $2,500 on advertising. That was for the Whiskers and Wags, I think. And note down in office temp staff, there's a payment of $1,395. That should be our final payment on temp staff. We revised the budget to put us in shape for the rest of the year there. Walter's now on full-time. And that about does it on the financials. Any questions on April?
I make a motion that we approve the March and April 2019 financials.
Second.
Voting from my right.
Lawrence, yes.
Gaddis, yes.
Damiano, yes.
Taylor, yes.
Butler, yes.
Osborne, yes.
Motion passes. Item number 3, discuss or take action to recommend the City Council approve the 2018 fiscal year budget. Motion, please.
Make a motion the City Council approve the 2018 fiscal year audit.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Discussion. We've seen the audit previously. This is just a formal mention of it to show that we have. We had 3 items that were called significant deficiency, and a definition of a significant deficiency is a deficiency or a combination of deficiencies in internal control that is less severe than a material weakness, yet important enough to merit attention by those charged with governments. We had 3 items. One was the payment to vendors, whereby sometime during the course of the past fiscal year, vendors were paid directly by a board member and then the board member reimbursed. We have ceased that practice. I don't think we've had any this year. Number 2 is bookkeeping responsibilities. During the audit testing, it was noted the bookkeeper had signing authority on checks and also maintains all bank statements for the EDC. Upon request of the statements of the audit, neither the EDC nor the bookkeeper could furnish copies, and copies were requested from the bank. That has now changed. We have copies of all bank statements in the office for the entire fiscal year. They also didn't like that the bookkeeper is the individual reconciling the bank statements. And it was a weakness that she is also a check signer. We have had some internal discussion on this, and with just 3 of us approved signers, we feel that although we're not using her as a signer right now, we want her there just in case it's needed. 2 people gone, and if there's only one of us here, then the bills would not get paid. And then the final deficiency was in grant documentation. Upon review of the grant and loan documents, the auditor was unable to follow where the EDC was reviewing each grant to ensure the recipients were compliant with grant restrictions. We have since implemented a checklist on everything, so that should take care of that. Any questions?
Yeah, just one. And Lee, I'm going to ask you this. When we submit this audit to the City Council, are you including a cover memo to state that we've taken the corrections and what they've been?
We will do that, Gary. I had not thought about it. That's a good idea that we've corrected. And I have talked with the various council members about the corrections that we have made, all but Teresa's signing.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just saying that for purposes of historical information.
We'll put a summary in the front of it.
Okay.
Mr. President, as if anybody has a book, would you leave it with us so we can put it? We'd like to have 5 for the count. Is there 5 councilmen now?
Yes.
Plus the mayor. We need 6, I guess.
Voting from my right, please. Voting to approve the audit.
Lawrence, yes.
Gaddis, yes.
Damiano, yes.
Taylor, yes.
Butler, yes.
Osborne, yes.
Motion passes. Item number 4, discuss or take action to recommend that City Council approve facade improvement grant for Wilson's Jewelry in the amount of $3,172. Do we have a motion?
I move that we recommend the City Council approve the facade improvement grant for Wilson's Jewelry in the amount of $3,172.
I'll second.
Any discussion? appears to be in good order. Walter put it together, I think, in very fine fashion. We got a full checklist on everything. Any questions on it? Discussion? Voting to approve from my right.
Lawrence, yes.
Gaddish, yes.
Damiano, yes.
Bailey, yes.
Butler, yes.
Osborne, yes.
Motion passes. Item number 5, discuss and or take action to approve digital marketing and EDC website refresh option.
Can I make a suggestion here? I'd like to make a motion that we have first discuss before we take any action, if that fits.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we open discussion regarding website refresh and potential vendors.
I'll second that.
Oh, yeah.
Take a vote.
Voting from my right.
Lawrence, yes.
Gaddish, yes.
Damiano, yes.
Taylor, yes.
Butler, yes.
Osborne, yes.
Discuss.
Okay.
Who's leading us? Are you leading the, Walter?
Okay, so we have 2 bids. One was the original from Sugar Rock. The other is from ED Suites. A little further away. This better?
Yeah.
You're not a rock star.
So from Sugar Rock, I made a slight modification because this is based off an older rough draft, so there's a slight modification in the pricing. When it was originally made, they were expecting to have to do a lot of research gathering, so with that being handled by me, we were able to reduce the price they're offering from $15,000 plus $500 a month to $12,500 and $100 per month. The other one is ED Suites. They're more, I suppose, economic development specialist, website marketing out of Longview. They sent out a package as well. They offered 2 sets, one with them doing the data, the one with me doing the data. Similar price discrepancy, though somewhat higher. They wanted the cheaper option was slightly lower in bulk at first, $12,200, but substantially more annually at about $3,800 a year annually, I believe, was for their total services. As far as options offered, ED Suites can, I think, do a little more, but I question if it's worth the pricing, given that I don't believe there's much they can do that Sugar Rock cannot.
But is their monthly maintenance is different, though, right?
That's where the main price difference comes in. The upfront fee is pretty similar, but it's the monthly or annual fee that's substantially different.
Okay, let me ask a question. How do we know what we want? I mean, we haven't had any discussion amongst the board as to what we currently have, what we'd like to see, what we could see.
I have never had a board member ask to be involved in a website.
Well, you got one now.
We certainly can do that. What we have done is we've gone to 3 websites that we believe are nearly perfect for us. We have sent those 3 to Ben and told him that's what we'd like our site to look like at the end.
Okay.
We'd be happy to send those to you as well.
No, well, I'm just talking for me. It's up to the rest of the board.
We are mostly interested in numbers, which we do not have on our website. Our demographic study, population numbers, Jim figured out the taxable sales numbers, our entire demographic area, cost of water, cost of sewer, cost of electricity. So when somebody looks at our website, they can pick off of there whatever might affect them. The problem is 85 to 90% of the people who might look at Gun Barrel City will decide on our website. And right now, I know what they'll decide.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you that our website is not the best it could be, but...
So mostly numbers. Our programs, we'll list those. We need to provide a little bit of tourism stuff because I don't think anybody has that. And so it will generally look like Lindale. Lindale was one we really liked. Do you remember the other 2? Jasper and? Okay. So that's kind of where we are.
Okay.
Gary, I have seen Lindale's, and it's really nice.
Is it? Okay. It's...
Me looking at a website is like a hog looking at a wristwatch.
You talking about ours?
No, I mean, I just don't.
You don't?
No,
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
I know some things I'd like to see there. I'd like to have a drone video shot with a business-oriented promotional up there.
So would I.
You know, shoot it when the parking lot at Lowe's and CVS and Walmarts are full on payday, and you've got activity on the lake and that kind of thing. But I presume that's certainly addable to the website. Yeah.
One great thing about this website is it's easily changed by us. So Walter will be able to go in there and add, when we get something like video, they may have to do that for us. But I agree with you. I think a very short video would be very good for the site.
Yeah.
Okay, I think both of the proposals have something in there for sitting down, and I'm verifying and asking a question. Sitting down with us and walking us through. I'm not saying this. Are they just going to go off and develop something, or are they going to come back with us, to us, and give us previews of the final product?
Oh, yeah.
2 steps before we actually get into the website, which will be preparing the stuff that goes, and we can bring you that stuff as it comes around. And if you want to make changes, you can certainly do that.
Where are y'all leaning right now? Going toward Sugar Rock? What's your inclination now? To go with Sugar Rock?
If you guys vote, we'll go with one company or the other, and both of them have preparation time, which is exactly what Gary's talking about.
Okay.
Where they will begin to put stuff together that we need to have on our site, and we can bring that to you. If you want to pick out 2 or 3 people that want to be involved in this, we can lay that down in front of you as they put it together.
Sugar Rock has done a great job for this EDC in the past. They've done an awful lot of work that they didn't bill us for. They're a local company, and when I joked when I first met them, we got a Dallas ad agency in Gun Barrel City, and they're really quality people. They're techies. I'm not, and they're capable of doing an awful lot of stuff. So my hat would go toward them because A, they're local. We can get on the phone. They're going to be boom right there, and we need to be in more. We need to update all our stuff. We need to be in monthly publications, advertising. We're not in any place, and Sugar Rock has that capability of putting us together in the Tour magazine, the Texas magazine, and just something small. But we got to start doing it. We haven't done it.
Yeah, and Jim, I agree with you. Sugar Rock's good. Okay, they're good. I know that.
Well, they do this. I mean, they have a lot of different customers that they do different things for, and they helped us with our Rock the Park things, put together. They're organizers, and I'm real happy with them.
Yeah, I look at the Longview quote as being more expensive and geographically undesirable to bring them in here to do any work. We've got to put them up in a hotel. That's additional expense, and they're a little more expensive anyway. I certainly have a lot of respect for Ben and Sugar Rock. The only thing I don't like about it is that we're paying him 10 of the 15,000 on contract acceptance. If he drops dead, I think we're kind of holding the bag because he's basically a one-man shop.
Mr. President, we have not gone back to them since the original. As you can see, we've
Yeah.
scratched out written numbers in. Because it's so much less now, I think we can get started for less money, and I will ask.
Yeah, I'd like to see. Go ahead.
And also, Austin Clayman, the son of the Texas Tan owners, he is their techie at Sugar Rock.
Yeah, he is, and his wife is aptly suited for that business too. So,
What would you like to see on acceptance of contract on a $12,500 contract?
Gee, it's 15.5. I'd like to see 5,000 up front and then increase the rough draft and revised proof from 2,000 to 4,500 each, and that spreads it over the first 3 payments more evenly.
We will ask them about that.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, one last question. The ongoing $250 a month, or the ongoing $250 a month for maintenance from one and $500 a month for maintenance from the other? Walter, I guess.
100 a month from
It's
Sugar
down
Rock.
to 100 a
Is
month.
it down to 100? Okay. Okay.
100 a month from Sugar Rock and 350 a month, I think.
Thought it was $250 from the other. Okay. Yeah.
That's Walter's negotiation, I trust.
I've got one question. Y'all were talking about the Lindell website. Who put the Lindell website together?
EDC Weeks, the guys from Long. It doesn't mean we can't steal what they do.
No pride of authorship. Any other discussion? Okay, do we need to approve the expenditure and contracting with Sugar Rock?
Yes, separate motion.
Separate motion, please.
We've finished up one. We need to have a motion to approve one or the other.
That's what I'm asking.
That's what, yes, we do.
Would you like to make that motion?
I'd love to make that motion.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the Sugar Rock quote contingent upon changes per Jim Taylor related to the payments.
Second.
Any further discussion? Voting from my right,
Lawrence, yes.
Gaddis, yes.
Damiano, yes.
Taylor, yes.
Butler, yes.
Osborne, yes.
Motion passes. Item number 6, open public hearing. In accordance with the Texas Local Government Code 505.159, a public hearing will be held by the Gun Barrel City Economic Development Corporation, a Type B corporation, on Tuesday, May 14th, 2019, at 5 p.m. in the Gun Barrel City Chambers, located at 1716 West Main Street, Gun Barrel City, Texas, 75156. This is for Project Reflection involving a loan of $75,000. Public hearing is open. Are there any comments? There are no comments. Meeting is closed. Item 7, discussion or take action to recommend that City Council approve a loan for Project Reflection. We are short some documentation on this. We should entertain a motion to table.
I'll make a motion that we table Project Reflection.
Second.
Voting from my right,
Lawrence, yes.
Gaddis, yes.
Damiano, yes.
Taylor, yes.
Butler, yes.
Osborne, yes.
Motion passes. Item number 8, open public hearing. In accordance with Texas Local Government Code 505.159, a public hearing will be held by the Gun Barrel City Economic Development Corporation, a Type B corporation, on Tuesday, May 14, 2019, at 5 p.m. in the Gun Barrel City Chambers, located at 1716 West Main Street, Gun Barrel City, Texas, 75156. This is for Project Bismarck involving a grant of $25,000. Hearing is open. Are there any comments?
Hi there.
Let's do it after the hearing. Hearing is closed. Item number 9, discuss or take action to recommend that City Council approve a grant for Project Bismarck. Do we have a motion?
I move that we recommend to the City Council approve a grant for Project Bismarck.
I second.
Voting from my right.
Any discussion?
Well, we got to. Don't we have to pass the motion to open it for discussion?
This is,
No, you got a first and a second.
No. We got a first and a second. Discussion.
I've looked this over, and this is probably one of the most creative things I've ever seen in 5.5 years. Number one, it's a grant, which is a gift, and yet it's tied in as a forgivable gift. And there's nothing, what we're effectively doing with this is putting somebody into business. And normally all of our grants that we've given for facade deals are existing businesses that are up and running. This isn't up and running. And I have not seen a lease agreement for these folks that have got the property where it is. So basically what I'm seeing here is a well, if you guys will do it, we'll do it. And I don't want to be the first one in the tunnel. So we've never had a forgivable grant, and what's protecting our $25,000? Who's going to do the money difference in a piece of equipment that they buy for $6,000, then we give them $3,000 after it's proved that it's paid for? I certainly don't want this to look like the Cripple Creek deal that would cost us $50,000. So.
Mr. Osborne, if I could, a forgivable grant is forgiven $5,000 a year. They must be in business for 5 years in order to pay that grant off. If they happen to only be in business 2 years, they will owe us $15,000. So the grant is protected.
Well, I've never seen one, so that clarifies.
I understand this is the first one you've seen.
Well, I'd like to ask another question, and maybe you can answer me. We've got some one page of from a bank or someplace that shows money in a balance. Doesn't say what bank it is, what institution, and it's for one day, May 8th. So I don't know about you, but all of my bank statements come by the month, and they've run everything in one.
Yeah, that's what we asked them for, Jim. In order to verify the $12,000 they said they would have, I talked with Shannon yesterday. She has some money, as well as a couple or three big events that are coming up that will make that $12,000.
That's just a snapshot of today. That's First National Camp, isn't it? I used to work there. It's a snapshot of the daily or recent activity.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of questions. We've got an existing business in Kemp that's in a very tough location. It has little or no visibility. It's at the end of a strip center, and I think they've done a great job there of getting it going and producing some extremely good barbecue. And I think Mr. Kyle would, who is an authority on the subject, being a judge for, is it the Kansas City Barbecue Association? He is in great support of this business and feels that they're the best in the area, and I tend to agree with him. I'm not a big barbecue eater, but when you can cut the brisket with a skinny little plastic fork, you're putting out a pretty nice little piece of meat. I got two concerns with it. Number one is Mr. Quigley put together a pro forma operating statement and used a cost of food of 30%. And we had some discussion on that and couldn't decide among ourselves in a smaller visit what a meat seller's cost of goods sold ought to be, the cost of food. And then we just recently got the 2018 tax returns, and it's 57%. If the new business goes from the 30% estimated to the 57% and has that higher food cost of 27%, that's $54,000 in additional cost on top of the existing, what's there, on 200,000 in volume. How do we get from 57 down to 30?
30% just represents food cost.
It represents what?
Just the food cost.
And that's what it is on the tax.
The rest of the cost of goods sold is in the payroll, and we could have put payroll in under CGS on the income statement, but I thought you'd want to see it broken out so you could see the number of local personnel that this operation would be hiring.
Well,
so you have to add the 30% number and the payroll total to get the total cost of goods sold.
The payroll is broken out separate in the tax.
That's correct.
returns. It's not in the cost of goods sold.
No.
And the cost of goods is at 57% there.
I'm sorry?
The cost of goods sold in the tax returns is right at 57%, the food cost.
Okay. Our estimate here is rather conservative. We're at 78% total when you add the labor and the cost of food together. Shannon and Benny feel like they can do this for less, but we're pretty conservative in our numbers here.
Do you gain any benefit with the higher volume to the food cost?
Should go down.
Somewhat in the part of the business that does the catering, because you can buy, say, for a 200-person catering job, you can buy the product all at once and discount the unit cost. But just buying 4 or 5 or 10 briskets at a time to serve the restaurant, you don't get the benefit of that reduced unit cost.
Okay. Second concern is parking. And I recognize as well it's a cash business and not everything hits the books, not that that's good. That can lead to other problems, particularly when it comes to sales tax or income tax. Parking. We have, I think, 17 spaces in front of the location. There's about 6 off to the west end. Lee, have you been in there?
Yes, sir, several times, and there's a lot of parking in the back, and that's what we intend to use. There'll be a back door where people can come through the back if they choose to do that.
Okay. The back door will be an entry?
Yes,
That saves walking through the drive-through and losing customers when they get run over.
like you do at McDonald's.
McDonald's, same thing. You have to walk through the drive-through, but even better if you can come in through the back. But I just took a look through the window, and I thought that it was really ample space for seating for 88.
Yes.
A drive-through as well.
Yeah, understand. With these 17 spaces out there, there are 6, or could be 6 other businesses in that site. PK's hair salon next door to you on Saturdays has 2 to 5 people working there in a constant flow. I don't know about the other businesses. In the evenings, I don't think it's a problem. At lunch, if your objective was to get 1 times coverage on 88 seats, 88 at lunch, 88 at dinner, that's 176 a day. 88 at lunch, if 2 people come in per vehicle average, that's 44 vehicles from, say, 11:30 to 1:30 maybe. I think you're stressed on parking, even with the parking out back.
Yeah, I think out back they'll be fine because there's no parking the entire way. So there's nobody in the back at all. So the entire back is available to them for parking.
Yeah. He's in the process of putting up a gate with a keypad on it. Do you know what the deal is on that? Is it closed at night and open during business hours, or?
I do not know, but I saw him putting it up, and I think that's part of the drive-through. They're going to have to do a concrete slab coming around there for the drive-through, and I think the fence is there for the drive-through.
Now he's putting down crushed asphalt, is what it looks like.
Yeah.
And what happens back there when it rains, I don't know, but the drainage looks like it would go away from the building, but I'm not sure.
Can I ask you, what is the percentage of takeouts? You know, you're going to have the drive-through, but you're also going to have people come in just for 5 minutes to get their food and leave. So do you have any idea what the percentage of about?
Right now, our percentage of takeout is probably about 65%.
So that's going to alleviate some of the parking issue.
Yeah, that's fast turnover. Fast turn. Other questions, comments?
Your rear entrance, that'll be a separate hallway? Okay.
Okay, so, something's going on in that building. They looked like they were building something. Did they stop, or did that?
In that spot on the end?
Yeah.
They have done a little work in there, and they did stop. Jim was wondering about the lease. We're not comfortable in signing a lease until we know this thing is going to go forward. They have been waiting for us 6 months. There has been some work done in there. There needs to be a bit more.
Well, if far be it from me, but it looks like those walls that they were putting up are going to come out. Is that correct?
Oh, don't ask me. I don't remember. We've been through it so many times. There are a couple of rooms in there that will stay separate rooms that people will sit down and have dinner in.
Okay.
Oh, you're going to have private dining in there? Smaller rooms where people can have group 4, 8?
Actually, what our plan is to have the large part to be a dining area. The front part is going to can be like a meeting/party room, because we do, at our current location, we have a lot of people that come for parties for their kids, for adults, and the vision for this one was to be able to have somewhere private where somebody, if they did want to have a party, that we were able to accommodate that.
Are you going to be cooking the food here locally? Or
Yes.
Okay. So you'll have cooks at both ends?
Yes.
Subject of grant versus loan, I personally am not in favor of grants except for the established programs that we have, facade improvement, boots to business. I like loans better because we get to loan the money out again and help somebody out. And considering they're at 2% interest and can go as long as 10 years, I don't think that's too cumbersome. And with any good operation, that would be, particularly on a $25,000 loan, that's manageable.
It's no payments for a year.
Pardon?
There's no payments for a year.
Yeah, first year there's no payments, then 9 years it amortizes
I'm in
monthly.
favor of doing something like that.
I would tend to go the same way myself. Other thoughts?
I'm in agreement with you on that one.
What'd you say?
I'm in agreement with Jim on that.
Loan versus grant.
I'll go with that.
All right, we have an item here that says we're going to approve a grant. Can we have a motion to do that? Vote as you wish, and if that doesn't pass, we'll vote on a loan.
I'll make a motion to take action to recommend to the City Council approve a grant for Project Bismarck.
Second? Voting from my right?
Lawrence, yes.
Gaddis, yes.
Damiano, no.
Taylor, no.
Butler, no.
Osborne, no.
Motion fails. Do we have a motion to do a loan of $25,000 at 2% interest for 10 years, first year no payments, and then amortizing over the final 9 years?
Second.
I'll make a motion to do it as you said.
Thank you. One point of discussion. On the loan, or actually on the grant, we should have a first lien on furniture, fixtures, and equipment. Is there any problem with that? No. Okay. And we will also require a landlord's waiver where he's basically saying that the equipment is not his, it's yours. And then we have to do a security agreement, a loan agreement, and UCC-1 funding to protect UCC-1 filing with Secretary of State to perfect the security interest.
Are you required to have a insurance policy to what's his name, to the landlord? Okay.
Okay. Voting from my right, loan of $25,000.
Lawrence, yes.
Gaddis, yes.
Damiano, yes.
Taylor, yes.
Butler, yes.
Osborne, yes.
Motion passes. Item number 10. Let's get it open. I'm hungry.
Yeah, get it open.
Item number 10, discuss and or take action to approve IT recommendation for firewall. Do we have a motion?
I'll motion to take action to approve IT recommendation for firewall.
Second.
Discussion. Walter's issue?
Yeah.
Please.
So when we first met Chris Goldsmith up in Canton, one of the things he brought up originally was the idea of a firewall. So there have been a rather large number of public sector hackings in the last several years. There's a great deal of money that gets transferred, whether big or small. They tend to be operating on older equipment, older security measures. Hacking gets more sophisticated. So I believe it was recently, was it City of Boston actually had a hacking recently, just to give one example. So one of the things he recommended, and he followed up 2-3 weeks ago with, was the idea of us getting a firewall. This is a higher level of protection than, say, your standard Avast or Norton or whatever. It's obviously more expensive as well. I believe it'd be $174 for 3 years, and then the next 3 years it would go down to about $700 and something. This is his recommendation, so I've put it on the agenda for y'all to discuss as to how worthwhile you believe this security measure would be.
Could you repeat those costs again, please?
Yeah.
I believe for the first 3 years it was $1,174, and then afterwards it would go down to $750 or so. And I believe it would remain in 3-year increments. I believe that's how that worked. The setup that he found.
What is the threat to the EDC of our website being hacked?
I don't believe it's the website per se. I think it's more the idea of someone managing to get into our system, emails, anything, and getting secure information of that sort. Like I said, there have been a number of public sector hackings, because you've got communities there have information that goes through. Obviously, there's a lot of finances, discussion of finances, emails that pertain to finances and that sort of thing. And some have found a way to get into that and then get into the money.
When we move over to Outlook, just referring to emails, doesn't Outlook have its own security setup? or features?
I believe there is one. I forget if it's just at the premium level or if it's at the basic. I would have to double check on that.
This is a much higher level.
That too? Yes.
This is a much higher level of security, allowing people to get in and destroy our computers, which is what we're really worried about.
Okay, I have to admit I don't fully understand it because I'm not sure totally what we're spending that kind of money.
Put in some kind of a break that does not allow anybody into our system. And the city has one in their system. And it's just a recommendation that if you don't want some Chinese guy hacking into your government, seem to be the target at this point. If you don't want some Chinese guy hacking into your email, it's a good idea to have a firewall. That's as much as I can.
Lee, what is the damage they could do to the EDC? I understand the city's getting held hostage, and I've seen that.
We have a wide variety of things. When we're in the middle of working projects that have financial information, sometimes people's social security numbers, a variety of things we would not like people to get into. But more important than that is getting in and completely disrupting our business in every way. I don't know if you ever had a computer hacked, but I got to tell you what happens is when you turn it on, it doesn't go up.
Yeah.
Well, when we do, and I don't know the answer to this, I probably shouldn't be asking the question, but when we do this IT upgrade with the website and all that, does nothing, that's not in there at all? Okay.
It doesn't relate to that.
No, I'm just asking.
This is a recommendation from our new IT guy. Walter and I had no idea about it. And it sounded like a real good idea to us, but we don't know somebody inside. We know that we've had problems with that before. There have been people who may have had email addresses and other things that could get into our computers really well. I think we've pretty well stopped that hell out. I think it would stop more if we had problems.
Okay, Walter, have we looked at any other bids for the same thing? Or are they?
I did not have the time to delve into comparing the different prices of firewalls. My assumption was that Chris would send us the most affordable if he was going to make a recommendation like that. But I wasn't able to delve into that aspect.
Okay.
Is this a monthly fee or is this payable annually at 11 whatever?
Once a year.
Once a year?
Oh, sorry. Once every 3 years.
Yes, it's a lump sum, as I understand it.
Yeah, if I understand your pricing correctly, it's the $1,100 rounded for the first 3 years of it?
Yes, yes.
And then after that, it drops to $750?
Around $750, yes.
Why does it
Another
drop?
3 years?
Why does it drop?
Installing it, I think. Installation.
So the 1,100 is for a 3-year period?
Yes.
For a 3-year period. Then after that, we pay
Another
$750.
three?
Could you say that again?
The 1,100 is for the first 3 years.
And then the 700 is going to be for 3 more years?
After
No.
that, yes.
Oh.
Yes, 7 something, yes, yes.
For another 3 years?
For that 3 years afterwards.
And this is 1,100.
Yes, yes.
I guess what there's the confusion is that $750 per year or is it $750?
No.
Okay, that's all. Okay. Okay.
Pretty reasonable.
Any other discussion? Voting on a motion to approve. From my right, please.
Lawrence, yes.
Gaddis, yes.
Damiano, yes.
Taylor, yes.
Butler, yes.
Osborne, yes.
Motion passes. Item number 11, discuss and or take action to recommend the City Council approve sending Board Secretary Gary Damiano to the Texas Rural Challenge in an amount not to exceed $700.
Yeah, I make a motion to recommend the City Council approve sending Board Secretary Gary Damiano to the Texas Rural Challenge in the amount not to exceed $700.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Does he have to come back?
We're not paying.
Raise the dollar amount.
We're not paying ransom.
This is on rural communities, is that correct?
Yeah, this is on rural communities. It's kind of a gathering of EDCs. It's absolutely fascinating. When you start looking at what different cities are doing, it's an It's great because you listen to what other people are doing. And
So you've been to this before.
Yeah, I've been to it before. And you come back with ideas, and some of them frustrate you because you can't do them here. That's often a problem. But a lot of the stuff is applicable. And it's a good education. I suggest anybody can go should.
Any other discussion? Voting from my right to approve.
Lawrence, yes.
Gaddis, yes.
Damiano, yes.
Taylor, yes.
Butler, yes.
Osborne, yes.
Motion passes. Item number 12, discuss and or take action to review bids for repair of Big Chief seawall and recommend that City Council approve selected bid.
Jim, can you pass those down? I need one.
We have a motion to discuss and approve.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion that we have a discussion regarding the repair of Big Chief seawall.
Second.
I'll second.
We have a motion in 2 seconds. Mr. Damiano.
Okay. In your packet, got a problem down there, and I've passed out a diagram to all of you so you'll have a better handle on what I'm talking about. If you look at the pictures that I've enclosed in this package, there is a huge hole there off to the right. How long it's been there, how long it's been brewing, I have no idea. If you go further into about the third picture, the third one, you'll see a shot of the seawall with an opening in there where there should be a stainless steel retaining wall, which is not there. My assumption is that somebody brought a barge in there and tied it up. And it got rough, and it slammed in there because that's about the only way I can figure this happened. One panel is missing. Another one to the left there is cracked, and that's what makes me think something happened there. In relation to the diagram that you're looking at so that you can better understand the bids, you've got the hole, which you can see on the diagram, and then you've got that one slab from the hole running to sea. If you walk across all of that right back to where the land is, it's awfully hollow under there. Okay? That all has to be backfilled. To do that, they have to cut out squares of that cement walkway and then backfill through there. Okay? The other piece of it, in Section D, the first part of that is awfully hollow as well. Okay? It gets less so as you walk down the walk, but it's still hollow, which also has to be backfilled. They would have to cut holes in there and backfill, whether they use dirt from the cove or cement. That's up in the air. They probably use both, I would imagine. The danger being, we've got it blocked off so nobody can walk down there. My major fear is the structural integrity, or eventually affecting the structural integrity of the walls that are behind it. Not the seawalls itself, but the retaining walls next to the boat ramp and so forth. We've got 3 bids there, and I put a memo in there related to each one of these bids. The one I'm going to talk about first is Foamworks, which is the most expensive bid. Using foam to fix a seawall, what they do is they walk along the seawall, they drill holes at various points all along the surface of it. Then they inject foam. The foam that they use totally depends on what they're doing. If they're trying to support the cement cap above it, then they use a structural support foam. If it's just to occupy space, drive out water, and secure the whole thing, then that's what they use. In this case, they're going to use foam that is a structural support piece. Okay, that is the most expensive bid, and I'll tell you right up front, I'm not suggesting that. I'm looking at what I'm going to ask for is $20,000. Okay, to repair the seawall. What I'm looking at Foamworks for is a supplemental should we need it. After they do the backfill, after they repair the stainless steel seawall and do their backfilling, if we still have voids, maybe we need to consider going back with some foam, which would be significantly less expensive. Okay. The bids you can see are from Morgan Construction and Double C. Of the two, I know very little about both. I've tried to get some other people to come out and bid them. Part of the problem is it's not a huge job, and a lot of folks would rather go out and put an entire seawall in as opposed to fix something. I know some people that have had Morgan do some work. They liked them. Double C, they're they're younger guys. They have a bars. They have everything they need to do it. They do work around here and have been for years. If I had to make a suggestion, I'd say Double C. So I'm open for questions.
Is Double C is the lowest bid?
Double C is the lowest bid.
We are,
My first question, I think, would be who is technically responsible for maintaining this?
We own it.
We are as an EDC?
As an EDC, we own the property.
Okay.
It'd be like, yeah.
My secondary concern from a structural standpoint, Double C is looking at backfilling with concrete.
Yes.
We don't have any idea what that soil's worth or will do when you dump that kind of weight of concrete on it.
Can you say that again, please?
We don't have any idea what the soil will do once you put that much concrete weight on it. Is there a possibility, as I believe there would be, that the weight of the concrete would just sink into the muddy ground? Is that a concern?
I don't know how to answer that because right now the concrete itself is not sinking or moving. It's just hollowed out under because of water rushing into that opening.
Right, but you have a hole there that you're talking about filling with concrete.
No, we're talking about filling with either sand or some sort of a fill or dirt from the cove, cutting squares
Okay.
in the surface of the concrete.
So their backfill would be soil from. Okay.
Yeah, either from the cove or.
And they would tamp that as well in their backfill charge, I guess?
Yes.
Compress it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That addresses my concerns.
Okay. Any other questions?
No, I've had experience with a concrete fill, and if you get enough of it in there and you've blocked off the area in front of it, it's good. You know, just like this, where you've got a deck, concrete deck with a gap, and then top it off with some topsoil after you get the concrete in there. But those bags get harder than this. I mean,
Yeah, they do. Yeah, if you just drop bags in there, that's one way of doing it. My thinking is they're going to have to remove part of that decking anyways to do the repair because they can't get the new panels under the existing. And then they've got to seal those off. So,
are we pay on completion, no progress or partial payments?
I've got the contract in there, and I don't remember that, to be honest with you. Did you see it? You
I didn't see it.
I can work that out. If we do it, let's make it a contingency. Either that or something down, possibly, but definitely not. You know, everything up front, or most of it paid on completion.
We would want to do a token, if required, a token down payment, $1,000 or $2,000. But you know, to put this 50% stuff down is crazy.
Crazy.
And there's.
And then what's the time frame, Gary, that they can do this? Because a lot of these guys that I know, they're 6
Could you hit your mic a little more, Jim? Because I can't.
Sorry. What's the time frame for these guys to do this?
I don't know. We haven't been able to get a commitment.
A lot
on
of them
because,
that I know are out 6 months, 3 months, whatever.
Yeah, well, Jimmy Martin's out a year. I don't know because we don't. One is we haven't approved it yet. We've got to put a budget change into the city council.
Resolution. We have to send a resolution.
A budget resolution to city council.
Well, let's go ahead and move this thing forward. We got to do it.
Yeah, what I'm thinking right now is that let's have some thoughts, because I'm thinking minimally what we have to do is put a $20,000 resolution for the budget change in the city council. That's minimal. That puts us in the position where we can do it. They can
You
put it.
took all these from these people. They told you what they were going to do. And your gut tells you Double C's the one that you feel the best with.
Yeah.
Okay.
And let's have the motion reflect that. Double C, the contractor, 20,000. Their bid was less.
Yeah, all I'm saying is I want to allocate $20,000 towards the project.
Yeah, but
I'm not saying we're going to spend it. We're going to accept we're
bid.
going to accept somebody's bid to do it.
Okay, make a motion.
Okay, I make a motion that we accept the Double C bid as stated, for the repair of the seawall at Big Chief Landing, and we also put together a resolution to add $20,000 from our funds to the Big Chief account.
Second.
Did I get it all?
Motion to approve, voting from my right, please.
Lawrence, yes.
Gaddis, yes.
Damiano, yes.
Taylor, yes.
Butler, yes.
Osborne, yes.
Motion passes. Item number 13, discuss scheduling a joint workshop between the EDC Board and City Council. Mr. Peterson, what are we going to do here?
We have a project that may or may not involve a building. The council and the mayor would like to sit down with you all and discuss that project in a workshop. So what they would like you to do is pick a couple of dates after the 1st of June that would work for you, and we'll see if we can make the mayor and council's dates work as well.
Best days for those that are employed?
I'm open.
Well,
Monday, Tuesday.
Monday and Tuesday typically are my only days that I'm off.
Monday I can't.
You can't on Monday?
Wednesday's usually the best day for me. Tuesday afternoon I can probably work with.
Tuesday afternoon, good?
Yeah.
What's the first Tuesday afternoon? I don't have my calendar.
Neither do I.
Got to be after the first City Council meeting in June.
First Tuesday afternoon after.
Oh,
Just after the 1st of June.
it's 28th is the meeting, that's when they see. So, okay. I'm done.
Well, what number day is the first Tuesday in June?
Joe's looking at his phone.
That'll help.
There you go.
4th.
4th,
Yes.
June 4,
afternoon,
Yeah, that's fine.
time.
good, John?
You don't care about time, let the council pick the time?
Yeah.
That's fine.
No. We dictate to them.
Okay,
You know those people.
I do.
They can pick the time if they'll buy lunch.
1:30?
1:30 on the 4th of June. Do you have a second date you would pick in case this one doesn't work?
No, 10 or
The
nothing.
next week on Tuesday? Thank you, all but Mr. Taylor.
Walter, would you
6/4,
remind us?
1:30, or 6/11, which is 2 days before my birthday.
You got that, Walter?
Well, now you're going to want
Date?
Now you're going to want to.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much for that.
Okay, we discussed that.
I also miss thanking Mr. Damiano for all the work he did on Big Chief. I really appreciate him taking that thing and getting it done. Thank you, Gary.
Let's hope you get it done right. Item number 14, discuss EDC Board training schedule. Mr. Peterson?
So in your packet you have economic development sales tax workshops. The closest one to us is Mesquite, November 22nd, 2019. I would recommend anyone who's going to stay on this board for a period of time to take a day and go to that workshop. Marvelous time. Learn a lot of stuff, not only about sales tax, but about economic development as well. The other training thing that we are working on, as you know, we had a education session over at the hotel, I think early in the year. Mayor has charged me with continuing that, and what I've been trying to do is get a part of a day in Cameron, Texas. Cameron, Texas is about the same size as a gun barrel. They do have some manufacturing, but they also work continuously on retail recruitment. But the most amazing thing about Cameron, Texas is they have built an $11 million baseball field. And how they figured out how to do that, I think, would be very interesting to y'all. So it looks like in June sometime. I lost May, but maybe we can get there in June.
Okay, item 14 is discussed. Item 15, discuss thank you from crappie anglers of Texas.
I know, especially Mr. Osborne, always likes to be thanked for what we do to help people. They have made us a nice plaque, wrote us a nice letter, and sent us a thank you card.
Good people. What did we do for them?
Actually, we didn't do it. The city council took that and funded it.
Hotel.
But we get credit
We get
for
a
it?
plaque.
That's nice.
That's how it works.
You're going to take this home, Jimbo. All right, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll motion that we adjourn.
Second, voting from my right to adjourn.
Lawrence, yes.
Gaddis, yes.
Damiano, yes.
Taylor, yes.
Butler, yes.
Yes.
Meeting is adjourned at 6:02.